We've all lost money at some point in our lives, and it's a difficult pill to swallow, especially when we know there's no way to get our money back. However, with Bitcoin, it's far worse because you know the money is there, but it's absolutely irrecoverable due to a simple password forgetting. Ouch. 1. McCormick Peter, a loss of $1.2 million. McCormick's advertising agency in London was doing well. He had a staff of 35 workers and a good turnover. When the company went bankrupt, he turned to Bitcoin for a source of income. McCormick claimed he got overly ambitious as a result of doing too much too quickly. While his Bitcoin was increasing in value, he was spending the earnings as soon as they came in. And when the Bitcoin bubble broke, McCormick lost about half of his money. He was fortunate it didn't break him, and he now runs a successful podcast that he absolutely loves. 2. Stephen Thomas, $220 million. Stephen Thomas, a programmer, has had his Bitcoin wallet locked out. Thomas had 7,002 Bitcoins on a password-protected hard disk, but he couldn't access them because he had forgotten the password. The worth of Bitcoin, which is currently unavailable, is estimated to be roughly $220 million. The coins were kept secure with an iron key gadget that only allows you 10 attempts to enter the password correctly. Thomas had tried and failed countless times. He had 2 attempts left, according to the last update in January 2021. We're not convinced he's come to terms with the possibility of a loss. It's a pity there isn't a leading question like what was the name of your first pet or what was your favorite toy as a kid. 3. Anonymous German man, $500,000. As we previously stated, a German man lost $500,000 in Bitcoin after trusting a tweet issued by an Elon Musk impersonator promising to double his money, with a clock ticking for urgency. The man had to tell the news to his wife after giving away all of his Bitcoin. We don't know his identity, and we're thinking he prefers to remain anonymous. 4. James Howells went a loss of $56 million. James Howells became interested in Bitcoin in 2009, and by 2013, he had mined 7,500 Bitcoins. He sold his computer for spare parts on eBay at the time, but kept the hard drive on which he saved his mining data. At the same time, Howells was doing a major cleanup of his home and unintentionally chucked out the hard drive. The drive ended up in a landfill in Newport, South Wales, along with 350,000 tons of other waste. Despite his best efforts, he hasn't gotten permission to search for the missing drive in his words. 5. Matthew Mellon, $500 million. Because he is a direct descendant of Judge Thomas Mellon, who founded Mellon Bank in 1869, banking and money are in Matthew Mellon's blood. The Finance Committee of the Republican State Committee of New York was chaired by Matthew Mellon. He became enamored with cryptocurrency and invested about $2 million in Ripple. The value of Mellon's XRP is estimated to be approximately $1 billion, but there's a major concern: Luxors. Mellon died in 2018 in Mexico, and his private keys are still stored in cold wallets around the country. He hasn't moved the coins from where he placed them. 6. David Stubley, $475,000. Stubley, the founder of the cybersecurity business 7 Elements, is the epitome of what not to do while trading cryptocurrency. Stubley's Bitcoin wallet was hacked by criminals when he clicked on a phishing link. He was given one by the crooks. They were worth $475,000 when this happened in 2017. It appears that the Bitcoin may be tracked all the way to a wallet with $15 million in cash. The wallet was frozen, which meant the cash could not be accessed, even if the fraudsters were not identified. Today, the funds are worth more than $3 million. 7. Mark Frauenfelder, $30,000. Okay, we understand. Although $30K is small in comparison to the other items on our list, it is a substantial quantity of money, and most individuals would feel the pinch if they lost it. Mark Frauenfelder, co-founder of Boing Boing, blames the housekeeping service for the loss of his password. However, he should have been more cautious. He admits to writing the passes on an orange piece of paper and leaving it lying around, which the housekeeping tossed. Frauenfelder was desperate enough to try hypnotherapy to help him remember the numbers. 8. The Winklevoss twins, $600 million. Before you go insane, the Winklevoss twins are estimated to be worth $1 billion. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss rose to prominence after suing Mark Zuckerberg, accusing him of stealing their social networking platform idea. The action resulted in a $65 million settlement. The twins are claimed to have purchased 120,000 bitcoins, or about 1% of all bitcoins in circulation. You know how statistics fluctuate, but their Bitcoin was once valued at $1.3 billion, while some estimated it could be worth as much as $2.34 billion. They're now estimated to be worth $1 million. It doesn't appear to be an amount that will bother the Winklevoss brothers too much. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss told CNBC that Bitcoin could reach $500,000 within a decade. 9. Gerald Cotton, $119 million. The story of Gerald Cotton has many holes. It's secretive, mysterious, and needs a super sleuth to solve. VanityFair.com starts the tale off like a novel. When Canadian blockchain whiz Gerald Cotton died unexpectedly last year, hundreds of millions of dollars in investor funds vanished into the crypto ether. But when the banks, the law, and the forces of Reddit tried to track down the cash, it turned out the young mogul may not have been who he purported to be. Cotton was the founder and CEO of Quadrica, Canada's dominant Bitcoin exchange. He ran the company from his MacBook Pro. Cotton had crypto worth $190 million owing to 115,000 customers, and to date the data has not been accessed, and the case remains unsolved. 10. Alex Jones, $562 million. You might recognize the name and face, and that's because Alex Jones is the host of InfoWars, and the Alex Jones Show. Jones is no stranger to a little conspiracy theory. So you would have loved the story about Gerald Cotton. He was given a laptop by Bitcoin proponent Max Keiser containing 10,000 Bitcoin. At the time, Jones was super skeptical of Bitcoin, so he didn't give it much attention. When Bitcoin started gaining momentum, he tried to find the laptop, and of course, it's gone never to be seen again. 11. Elon Musk. Tesla holds Bitcoin, and Elixir is worth $1.5 billion. We're afraid we won't be able to provide you a precise amount. Musk lost his position as the world's richest person after his net worth plummeted by nearly $15 billion in a single day. Tesla's stock dropped more than 10% after the company invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. 12. Derek's lost by $10 million. Rose stated, "I lost more money in Bitcoin than the majority of people will earn in a lifetime." Katie Kenny and Laura Walters of the podcast Superfad interviewed Rose. He wanted listeners to understand that he wasn't seeking compassion or pity, and that the money he lost was entirely his own. Rose was able to turn $70,000 into nearly $3 million by using leverage bets on two cryptocurrencies known as EOS and IOTA. 13. Emily, $120,000. We don't know much about Amelia except that she's about $120,000 down in her net worth than she used to be, all because of a silly error. She was keeping the files of keys for her 10 Bitcoins in a folder which she accidentally deleted. Hopefully she can take to heart what Satoshi Nakamoto said about losing Bitcoin. Lost coins only make everyone else's coins worth slightly more. Think of it as a donation to everyone. 14. Chris Larsen, $44 billion. We mentioned Ripple a little earlier, and Chris Larsen is one of the co-founders of the company. By creating a coin that people trade, Larsen began 2018 with roughly $60 billion. At this stage, the coin was trading at $3.10, but plummeted to 4 to 5 cents, resulting in a loss of $44 billion. Ripple is not as valuable as Bitcoin or Ethereum. 15. Another anonymous German man. Local police in Germany have confiscated $84 million in Bitcoin from an unnamed guy, giving his narrative a slightly unusual twist. But there's a snag. The man refuses to hand over the password. The man in question was sentenced to 2 years in prison. His deception resulted in the installation of software on other machines that mined Bitcoin on his behalf. His lawyers claimed he forgot the password and, like so many others before him, is unable to reclaim the funds. What is the most money you have ever lost, and how did you lose it? We love to hear from you, and we appreciate you sticking with us all the way to the conclusion. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and set on post alerts to receive updates on new videos. Stay safe, and we'll see you in our next video.